Hello everybody, this is Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films. And this is how we celebrated Super Bowl Sunday.
Hello again, everyone. This is Howie Babble speaking to you from the Immunization Bowl with a report on the constant struggle between man and disease. This contest features some of the most fearsome and ruthless combatants this reporter has ever observed. Let's go down to the field now to meet some of them close up. First, an old-time killer who's making an alarming comeback. The dreaded diphtheria.
My name is Diphtheria, and I can be quite near to ya. Though you seldom hear of me, I can be the death of thee. I'll make you sick as you can be, and take your breath away from ye. Your only defense is to immunize, and if you don't, I'll materialize.
Next, the dangerous and mainly misunderstood mumps.
My name is Mumps, and I'll put you in the dumps. I'll make you swell till you wish you could yell. Then I'll get you with my side effects until your body is a wreck. So unless you realize that you should be immunized, I'll get you. 'Cause I'm Mumps.
Teaming with mumps, also mainly misunderstood, to form a dangerous 1-2 punch is...
Measles here. I'll cover you in a rash of fear with itchy red spots from toe to ear. Anyone can catch me, do you hear? All over your body I'll spread. Instead of playing, you'll be in bed. In the beginning, I can easily be caught, so get immunized. And don't give me a thought.
Another member of this club, who was once taken lightly, but has shown awesome power, is Measles' cousin, Rubella.
They call me Rubella Red. A German measles that puts you in bed. I'm ugly, swollen, scratchy, and sore. Catching me is a big 3-day bore. I'm dangerous before you're even alive. With birth defects you could arrive. A vaccine will keep you safe from harm. If you get immunized, there's no need for alarm.
One of the most catching members of this aggregation is the seldom thought of, but extremely dangerous...
Whoop, whoop,
Whooping cough I am. Catch me and you're really in a jam. I'll make you cough all day and night. I'll make you so sick you'll never feel right. To other children, my disease can spread. So get immunized and you'll never dread.
One of the most prevalent and gritty diseases, who always seems to be around anything sharp and dirty, is the sneaky, disgusting tetanus.
They call me Tetanus the Terrible. My muscle spasms are unbearable. I'll get you when you have cuts in your skin with germs from dust and dirt. That's how I begin. I'll make your head ache, make it hard for you to bite. If left untreated, I'll make all your muscles tight. You'll never have to get me, that's for sure. If you get immunized, you'll have the cure.
The comeback kid on this squad is polio. Anyone who can remember what this terror was like will be sure to get his shots.
Polio's the name, and crippling's my game. I was once the worst of all, until the doctors gave me a fall. So if you don't want to greet me, see me, or meet me, there's only one way to be certain. Get immunized, and you won't be hurting.
Well, there you have it. A dangerous and gruesome group to be sure. Now, here they come down to the field. There goes diphtheria, the mysterious. And Mumps just got his lumps. Now measles is squizzle. And rubella, fella. Whoops, there goes whooping cough. And tetanus is on its frantic kick. Bam, polio is still up. Ooh, but now he's creamed. Polio is oleo. Well, there you have it. Another victory for immunization. The disease gang, a dangerous and gruesome group to be sure. But the one thing we all have to remember, as terrifying as these diseases are, you won't have to face any of them if you get immunized. This is Howie Babbles, signing off from the AMA Immunization Bowl.
So, Howard Cosell was very much imitated back in the day. And I have proof. Here's another film, a bowl-related film. Enjoy.
Welcome again to the Job Interview Pro Bowl. We have an exciting slate of interviews lined up for you today. The competitors are preparing themselves. The arena is being made ready, and the action will begin shortly. Remember, this is the big one. The applicants will be competing for perhaps the biggest stakes in their careers, a full-time job. For some of the crafty old veterans, the person winning today's match could mean a major job advancement into a better position. For some of the talented rookies, it could mean their first job ever. Now let's go remote to Dan Merriweather for a special report.
Thank you, Howard. I've got the head of the employer team here with me, Mrs. Roberta Giles. Tell me, Mrs. Giles, what do you expect to see in today's job interviews?
Dan, I think we're going to see some really great applicants competing for starting positions today. We've screened them carefully, so we're sure of seeing only the top competitors in today's finals. But we understand that while we're evaluating the applicants, they're going to be judging us. You know, it's a fascinating situation. The interviewer is trying to convince the applicant that our company would be a fine place to work. And the applicant is trying to convince the interviewer that he or she would be an outstanding employee. And both of them are simultaneously trying to size up the other one. You know, a brisk job interview is a fascinating spectator sport.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Giles. And back to you, Howard.
There you have it. Remember, this is where you heard it. Now, before the action begins, let's meet the participants. Eleanor Gimble, high school graduate, trying out for the position of assistant traffic manager. This is her first appearance on the Job Interview Pro Bowl. Let's see how she trained for today's encounter.
Howard, I've been getting ready for this chance for years. I've studied hard in school, taken courses that I think should be useful to me in my work, and worked part-time during the summers in a similar job.
Okay, Eleanor. That's the type of long-term training that got you into the finals. But what did you do to get ready for today's encounter?
Well, I know I'm going to have to sell myself to the company if I want this job. So I found out everything I could about the company and the job.
How did you do that, Eleanor?
Well, I got in touch with the Public Relations Department here, and I got a hold of the latest stockholders report and a lot of other literature on the company. Then I talked with some people who are working in the job I'm applying for to find out exactly what was involved. I didn't want to look dumb if they asked me what I knew about the job.
A very systematic approach indeed.
Thank you. Besides finding out about the company, I've tried hard to imagine all the questions the interviewer might ask me, and I've tried to think of the best answers. In fact, I've even rehearsed my answers. I think I'm ready for anything they might throw at me today.
The selfless dedication that builds champions. Any other preparations?
Well, of course, I took special care in picking out something appropriate to wear today, and I took plenty of time to get ready so that I look my best.
Good, solid strategy, Eleanor. You look like a winner to me. Now back to Dan Merriweather.
Howard, this is George Miller. George is representing the employer team, and he's the guy who's going to be interviewing Eleanor in just a few moments. Now, how about it, George? What will you be looking for out there today?
Well, Dan, our game plan really doesn't change much from interview to interview. We're mainly trying to find out what sort of person the applicant is.
Well, can you be a bit more specific?
Sure. By the time we get to the final interview, we usually know quite a bit about the person's background, level of schooling, work experience, and so forth.
Well, how do you know that, George?
Well, most of our better applicants supply us with a written resume in advance. And, of course, we always ask the job candidate to fill out our own employment application forms. We go over the resume and the application to see what sort of academic background the applicant has. Courses, grades, level of schooling.
Right.
And we're interested in writing skills.
Well, now, is that important?
Sure is. Almost any position in any company today requires a certain ability to express yourself clearly in writing.
Well, but all this stuff with the resume and the application form, now that all comes before the interview, right?
That's correct, Dan. We look upon the interview as a chance to size up the applicant in person. Come here.
Well, now you mean you're checking out their personality, their poise, their enthusiasm, things like that?
Exactly. And we're interested in their personal appearance. Do they take pride in looking good, Dan? Will they project a positive image of the company if they're hired? You'd be surprised at some of the weird outfits and hairdos people wear to come in for job interviews. Here are photos of some extreme examples I've run into during interviews. Dan, they didn't have a chance at a job with us.
Oh, yeah. But if somebody is applying for a job as a heavy equipment mechanic or a paint sprayer, well, does it really matter how they dress for their interview?
It does to us, Dan, because we think that the way a person grooms and dresses is a pretty good indicator of how that person feels about herself or himself. You'd be surprised at how accurately we can predict how an applicant will perform on the job just by the way they act and dress at the job interview.
Well, that's interesting. Say, George, I wanted you to tell our viewers what this thing's for.
Sure, be glad to. Dan, this is an enlargement of the form I use while interviewing an applicant. Now, you can see here exactly what we're rating them on. We're especially interested in how well the applicant communicates orally. Then we try to evaluate them for enthusiasm, self-confidence, aggressiveness and initiative, moral standards, leadership potential, ability to get along with people, personal appearance, preparation for the interview, and long-range goals and objectives.
Now, is this the kind of thing that most interviewers try to find out?
Well, Dan, it might vary a bit from company to company, but yes, I'd say those characteristics would be found on most interviewers' forms.
Well, now, let me ask you this, George. If you could give just one piece of advice to beginning job hunters who are going to be interviewed, what could you tell them?
Dan, I think I'd advise them to be realistic about their abilities and absolutely honest in answering the interviewer's questions.
Well, now, have you ever had problems with people not giving you straight answers?
Yes, Dan, and I suppose most professional interviewers have run into this more often than we care to think about.
Well, can you give me an example?
Well, say a man got fired from his job, and he was out of work for a while. He might try to cover that up by saying he was consulting at the time.
Well, do you usually catch people who fib to you?
Usually we do. We check their references and listen for discrepancies during the interview. It usually comes out.
Well, now, what happens when you find out that somebody hasn't been straight with you?
Dan, we disqualify that person immediately.
Well, isn't that pretty rough treatment?
We don't think so. We just don't need employees we can't trust.
I see. So you'd advise all job applicants to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely. We can sometimes overlook past mistakes or take a chance on someone who lacks experience, but we cannot ignore dishonesty.
Dan. Dan.
Yes, Howard.
The interview is about to begin. Ellen had just arrived.
Right. Well, back to you, Howard.
Thank you, Dan. A most enlightening interlude. Now let's go down to the conference table where the action is about to begin.
Mr. Miller will be with you in a minute. Thank you.
Ms. Gimble, I'm George Miller.
How do you do, Mr. Miller?
Won't you have a chair, please?
Thank you.
I've gone over your resume carefully. Very nice. It's clear, complete, and well organized.
That's nice of you to say. I put a lot of effort into writing it.
It shows. Well, today I think I just want to get better acquainted with you, Miss Gimble. Answer any questions you might have about the company or the job, and maybe get some more information on your background and long-range career goals.
Fine. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Okay. Why don't you tell me something about yourself and your family, sort of a brief life history.
I was born in Springfield. I lived there until I was 9 years old. I have 2 brothers. My oldest one just got married, and the younger one is a sophomore in high school. My dad works at the plant just down the way.
While Eleanor delineates her personal history, let's pause for comments on the opening moments of the interview.
Howie, I think Eleanor is starting off strong. She's enthusiastic and confident.
I like her eye contact.
Right. Now, that's one of the things that George will be looking for. Now, she's not bashful about looking him right square in the eye when she talks. She seems alert, yet relaxed. Really good form.
Any experienced interviewer is sensitive to the applicant's nonverbal behavior. Tell me, Dan, how do you rate her verbal facility?
Oh, what's that mean, Howie?
Well, do you think she's articulate? Does she express herself without obfuscation and lucubration?
Well, do you mean, is she a smooth talker?
That's right, Dan.
Oh, well, you bet. She's doing a great job, and that's one of the most important things to any interviewer.
Let's get back to the action.
That's fine, Miss Gimble. We've been over your school record and your work experience now, so let's talk about your long-range career goals. Just exactly what do you want to be doing a few years from now?
I think it'll probably take me about 2 years to really understand all the aspects of the job of assistant traffic manager. Meanwhile, I'm enrolling in night courses in accounting and business administration at City College. After 2 years of on-the-job training and the college work, I should be ready to move up. I'd like to be traffic manager as soon as I can handle it, and, well, as soon as there's an opening in any of the divisions. Eventually, I'd like to work my way up to regional or even national distribution manager.
Let's look at a portion of that again on instant replay.
In the meantime, I'm enrolling in night courses in accounting and business administration at City College. After 2 years of on-the-job training and the college work, I'm sure I'll be ready to move up.
A very impressive performance. Eleanor exhibited extraordinary self-confidence, initiative, and poise with that answer.
And that was a crucial test for her, Howie. A lot of applicants are wiped out by that question.
Exactly so. Either they overestimate their own potential and set up unrealistically high career goals, or they clearly have not formulated any definite career objectives for themselves.
But oh, Eleanor came through with flying colors.
Indeed she did. Her exhaustive preparations for this interview are standing her in good stead.
Hey, I think something's going on down there.
So it wouldn't bother you to relocate to another part of the country if you were transferred?
No, I like to travel, and I don't mind moving. But I do have a minor health problem, so I have to live in a fairly dry climate. Do you think that will count against me?
Oh, I wouldn't think so, Miss Kimball. The important thing is you were honest about it, and that counts for a lot.
Good.
Now, do you have any questions you'd like to ask me about the company or the job?
I have a fairly good overall picture of the company. I know you have 13,000 employees, 6 regional divisions, and the company is involved in the communication field, consumer hard goods, and recreation.
You've done your homework.
Thank you. I do have some specific questions about the job, though. I have a general understanding of the duties of the job of assistant traffic manager, but I'd like to find out exactly how I would fit into the department. Would I take all of my assignments from the traffic manager, or would I answer to other supervisors, too?
Okay, fair question. I'll try to explain how that works. You see, our company...
We're now moving into the second round of the job interview. The roles will be reversed. So, Eleanor will be asking the questions, and George will be responding to her inquiries. But he will be evaluating the quality of those questions even as he is answering them.
Well, I figure that Eleanor is a pretty sharp old gal. Now, she's going to be asking him some mighty hard-nosed questions about the company's policies on working conditions, job advancement, sick leave, vacation time, compensation, insurance, and all the rest of that good stuff, Howie.
And well, she might, Dan. It's essential that she make an intelligent decision about whether to accept a position with this company, should she be offered one.
Well, yeah, Howie. But let's don't forget George's responsibility during this part of the interview. Now, he's out to sell the company to Eleanor for all he's worth.
Absolutely. He wants to leave each and every applicant with a highly favorable impression of the company, whether the applicant gets the job or not. I remember the classic encounter during the 1977 season, when you'll probably...
Excuse me, Howie, but I think they're about to wind it up. Let's get back down to the conference table for the conclusion.
So this company values the people who work here, Miss Kimball. All of our personnel policies and job compensation programs are designed to contribute to the job satisfaction of our employees. Does that answer your question?
Yes, and thank you. I now have a clear understanding of the job and the company. Unless you have any other questions for me, I know I've taken up enough of your valuable time as it is. Thank you.
Hey, beautiful. Chalk one up for Eleanor. She is really running up the score now. She knows when the interview is over, and she is not going to make it awkward for George to get rid of her.
She's demonstrated a remarkably well-developed sense of timing for a beginner.
And in talking with me, Miss Kimball, I enjoyed our little chat. I'll send my recommendations on to our personnel supervisor, and you'll be hearing from us either way.
Well, thank you for taking the time to see me. If you need to reach me for any reason, my parents' phone number is on my resume.
Very good. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thus, another job interview becomes history. Tell me, Dan, what is your considered opinion of today's interview?
Well, Howie, it was just a super win. George is a real pro. He did his usual fine job. And Eleanor, well, she is something else. I've never seen a rookie do any better.
Now let's move over to our unofficial scoreboard and see how we think Eleanor stacks up. I'd have to give her a perfect score of 10 for oral communication, enthusiasm,
Right.
and self-confidence.
Definitely.
Certainly, she established her aggressiveness and initiative when she stated her intentions to enroll in night classes for advanced studies.
Now, I think she showed high moral standards and honesty when she volunteered that information about her health problem.
Right you are. Now let's check out the scores on the rest of these characteristics. Leadership potential.
That's a 10.
Ability to get along with people.
Definitely.
Very important. Personal appearance.
Well, that's the most definite 10 I've ever seen.
It's hard to fault her on any of these characteristics. Preparation for the interview.
Give her a 10 on that one, Howie. She was ready.
Long-range goals and objectives.
Shoot her the big 1-0.
It looks like a flawless performance to me, and a perfect score.
Yeah, Howie, but you ain't giving away the prizes. It's up to the company to total up the official score and hand out the job to the winner.
True. But I have the uncanny capability for being absolutely right about everything I say.
Uh-huh. Well, I'd just like to say one last word to all those good folks out there in our viewing audience. You know, job interviewing is not just an exciting spectator sport. It can be a rewarding activity to participate in, too. Now, you don't have to wait to get on our show. There's plenty of competition going on for jobs out there every day. If you'll just study the basics and get yourself a good game plan and train hard the way Eleanor did, why then, you can be a winner, too. Now, I'm expecting to see you in the big time real soon. You hear?
In 10 years, will people remember who Howard Cosell was and then what he sounded like? It'll be my responsibility and your responsibility, if you're my age, to perpetuate Howard Cosell's legacy through mimicking him as much as possible. Right? I don't think there's a Howard Cosell impersonation in this next film, but I don't know, man. I have no idea. This is a religious film, and it deals with gender roles, specifically for couples, and it's supposedly funny. And this is part 1, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see if it's funny. Enjoy.
What does it mean to be a woman?
What does it mean to be a man?
What does it mean to be a woman married to this man?
What does it mean to be a man married to this woman? I come from a family of 3 boys. My, how lucky you are to have 3 sons. You must be so proud. Why, I'm sure they'll grow up to be fine young men. It was a matter of honor and real distinction to come from a family of all boys. Oh, how people raved about us. Now, there was a family in the congregation of all girls, 6 to be exact. Oh, girls? Who cares about girls? Oh, isn't it too bad they couldn't have had a son? Now, I don't remember anyone actually telling me in so many words that it was more important and more valuable to be a boy than a girl, but I knew it. Well, it was assumed, and all the signals I got from my culture told me so. It was Dad who decided when and where to move, what car to buy, how much to spend, and for what. All the big important decisions. And that's the way it was in every other family that I knew. Unless, of course, the man was henpecked. You see, it was either or. Either the man was the head of the house and had the last word. You know, wherever Dad sits, that's the head of the table. Or he was a poor excuse for a man. So in my formative years, it was men who had the power, the authority, the last word. There was the principal and the lawyer and the mailman and the postman, the clergyman, the policeman, the fireman, the newsman. It was a man's world. Women, well, you know, they're good for cooking and cleaning and childbearing and sewing and sex, when the man wants it, of course. So when I went out looking for a wife for me, just guess what I had in mind? And look what I got.
I come from a family of 4 girls. We were loved and told often that we were special, but somehow with the birth of each daughter, there was increasing pressure on my folks to have that son. Even my sisters and I joined in the chorus. Why can't we have an older brother? We just didn't want a brother, but he had to be older, someone that we could look up to, someone that would pave the way for us, someone that would bring his friends home and make it easier for us to get dates. But there were no boys. And so my sisters and I took turns helping Dad do those outside kinds of jobs. But there wasn't any question about who was to do the inside jobs. We all learned to cook and clean and sew amid stories of how grateful we'd be someday and what good wives we were going to make some lucky men. As generations of women before us, we were never taught that these were skills we should learn for our own benefit and growth, but rather they were things we needed to learn so we could better serve a man someday. Now, I remember dating, and I remember waiting for the phone to ring, because no matter how much I wanted to spend time with a fella, I had to wait till he got the idea and the courage up to ask me for a date. Wasted a lot of time waiting. And I remember waiting for my dates to open doors for me. I was perfectly capable when they weren't around, but suddenly I was supposed to stand back and let them show me their manners and their strength. And I remember waiting on my dates to lead when we were dancing. Actually, I could dance much better than most of them, but I was only allowed to show my female passive following along skills. I remember waiting on my dates to bring up the subject about what we thought about each other, because nice girls were never forward, never brought up that subject first. I remember waiting on my dates hand and foot, making them pizza, filling their glass, even waiting for their pass. Now, I don't remember anyone saying to me, Mary, you're a girl, so you always sit with your knees together no matter what you're wearing. Knees together is the first rule. And I don't remember anyone saying to me, Mary, you've got to let that boy win at tennis if you want him to go on liking you. Boys have very fragile egos, and you've got to let them win. And I don't remember anyone saying to me, Mary, you've got to act dumb when you're around boys, because boys do not like girls that are smarter than they are. So when you're around boys, just cool it. No, I don't remember anyone telling me that. But somehow I got all those messages loud and clear, because I heard of some poor girl who hadn't done it right. Some poor girl who hadn't learned to be that nice and proper Southern lady. And after all, we all knew that the good men married the nice girls, and that was our real goal in life. Marriage to a good man, someone that would take care of us, protect us, appreciate us. And so when I went out looking for a husband, guess what I had in mind? And look what I got.
Mary, every time I come into this house, it's such a mess. Why don't you pick up around here once in a while? Anyway.
Ralph, I have been stuck in this house all day long. I need to talk to you. You can read that newspaper some other time. I need you much more than Walter Cronkite does.
Look, would you just get off of my back about that? I have said all I am going to say. The argument is hereby over, case closed.
Ralph, when we were first married, I wanted everything to be perfect. I had an interesting centerpiece for every meal. I had clean linens. I had good and different menus. But there's got to be more to life than making things look good and taste good. But I do love you.
As your pastor, I need to tell you that perhaps you ought to change your attitude. You know that it is your God-given task to free your husband from trivial things. Have you considered reading a good book on better home management? Or perhaps to pray that you might be a better housewife? Mary, I have had a hard day at the office, and I just want to sit here and read the newspaper without all your interruptions anyway.
Now, that's just great. Every time we have to go somewhere, you just get yourself ready and you go out and sit in the car. If you really wanted to get there on time, you'd help me get all these things done around this house that have to be done before we could leave, and then we both could leave on time.
Mary, why don't you listen to me? I told you the stove does not work that way. Look, I grew up on a farm, and I had electronics in high school.
Physics.
And I'm the man around this house, and I know how that stove works. So when I tell you how it works, why don't you believe me? Why do you question me anyway?
Hello there. I'm going to be your total woman. Are you tired of having a wife who clutters up your life because she has ideas and opinions of her own? Are you tired of having a wife who questions your decisions and doesn't let you have the last word? Are you tired of not having a wife who just dresses super sexy all the time and who's just ready to jump into bed before you've even thought about it? Well, now that you have a total woman, all your worries are over. I promise that I'll never have an idea or opinion of my own that he knows about. And I promise that I'll always let you make all the decisions and have the last word. Because deep down, I really don't think he can handle an adult-to-adult relationship. And I promise that I'll just pretend that all you have in your mind is sex, and I'll just solve all of our problems, and then I'll just throw in a little bit of mothering and take care of all your meals and clothes and pick up after you and all that kind of thing, and just sort of treat you like the little boy that doesn't want to grow up, that both of us really want him to be. Oh, Ralph, I'm not going to play those kinds of dumb games. I don't want to manipulate you. I want a real relationship with another live, growing person. I'm not going to play those dumb games.
Mary, you know, it's just very hard for me to share how I really feel deep down inside. You know, we didn't grow up on the farm talking about our feelings. And I don't want anyone to think that I'm weak or that I'm confused. After all, I am a man.
Well, Ralph, I must say there are just so many things to get done around this house, and if I don't do them, nobody else is going to. And anyway, it's a woman's prerogative to be late. And after all, I am a woman.
Where we once were in our relationship and where we are now is separated by several light years.
It all began when we were both students at Bethany Theological Seminary. We took a course in Genesis with Bob Neff, and we began to get a whole new understanding of what the biblical record is saying is meant to be the relationship between women and men. We'd like to share with you the biblical basis that caused our attitudes and our marriage to drastically change. I'll start by reading from Genesis 2:18 and following. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." So out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called every living creature, that was its name.
A goat.
The man gave names to all the
that's a
cattle
caterpillar.
and to the birds of the air and to every beast of the field.
And that's a butterfly.
But for the man there was not found a helper fit for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, took one of his ribs and closed up its place with flesh. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man, God made into a woman, and brought her to the man. And then the man said,
"Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Wow, what is this? Hungawa! Oh, at last, bone of my bone, and flesh of my flesh. And she shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man."
Therefore, a man leaves his father and his mother and cleaves to his wife, and they become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked, and they were not ashamed.
What kind of a helper is fit for me, a man? Well, my commentary on Genesis says that the Hebrew word for fit for him is kenegdo. And kenegdo literally means one who is like him, one who corresponds to him, his counterpart. One who is over against him? And kenegado contains absolutely no notion of inferiority. In other words, the one who is fit for me, the one who completes my being as a person. Well, you, Mary, you are created as my equal, which means that I too am fit for you, and I complete your being as a person.
Right, Ralph. According to Genesis, we are created bone of each other's bone, flesh of each other's flesh. Your flesh isn't superior to mine. My flesh isn't superior to yours. We're created of one flesh, and therefore equal in importance.
Say, speaking of flesh, what's all this naked and not ashamed business anyway?
Well, according to my commentary on Genesis, it doesn't have anything at all to do with clothes. But rather, when the writer is talking about being naked and unashamed, it's talking about taking off our masks and being who we really are, not pretending to be people that we're not, or play out roles like those old male-female roles that cause us to do things that are not really ourselves. The writer is saying, be open and honest with each other, as if naked.
All that come out of Genesis?
Out of Genesis.
Sounds like it came out of a marriage manual or a psychology book or something.
No, Genesis.
Say, Mary, I understand there is another account of creation in Genesis that has some more to say about the nature of the man-woman relationship. Would you read it, please?
Did you say we're created equal in importance?
Sure, right, equal.
Well, since I read the first creation story, I'm going to give you an equal opportunity to read the second creation story, which I am sure you can do equally as well.
I get the point, Mary. So God created humans in God's own image. In the image of God, they were created. Male and female, God created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. Boy, that's a very beautiful account of creation, Mary. What does it say to you?
Well, it seems to be saying some of the same things as the first account of creation. It's saying, first of all, that we're created out of the same stuff, that we're created equal in importance. Here it says that we're created at exactly the same time. But more important, it's saying that both of us, male and female, are created for exactly the same purpose. Both of us are to have dominion over the entire world. Notice it doesn't say that one of us is to make the decisions and the other to carry them out, or that one of us is to be aggressive and the other passive, but rather it says that both of us are to be responsible for what happens in the entire world. You know, Ralph, I think that means my waiting days are over.
Oh?
Because if I'm to be responsible for the world as you're responsible for the world, then certainly my life is a part of what I'm to be responsible for. So that means I shouldn't wait for you or any other man to define my sphere or give me permission to act. That's fantastic.
That sure isn't the way I was raised. But you know, the part I like best in that account of creation is where it talks about being fruitful and multiplying. Now I can show that I am really a man. Move over, Hugh Hefner and John Wayne. I'll show you what it's like in bed. Yes, I will.
What are you doing? I don't like what you're doing, and I don't like the implications of what you're doing. You know, I happen to have sexual desires just as great as yours, if not greater, according to some recent studies, but I don't have to go running around and bellowing like an old bull in order to prove it. And while we're on the subject, Ralph, I didn't like the way you pawed all over me in that first creation account. You know, here I was, a newly created being, created to be your partner. I didn't even know you from Adam. And you were pawing all over me and treating me like I was your property. Now, I am not your property. And I do want sexual companionship. But I want it from another secure, growing human being, not from some insecure male out to prove his manhood and use me to do it. Now, remember, Ralph, we said we were in this together as partners and as friends. Not to play those old male-female games. Remember?
Thanks. I needed that. Now let's see, where were we? Oh yes, God said that the woman and the man are created to have dominion in the total world, and that we are to be caretakers of that world together. Notice that God did not take the man aside and say to the man, you are created to have dominion in the big important affairs of the world, and to be in charge, and to have the last word. No, God didn't say that. And neither did God take the woman aside and say to the woman, now looky here, young lady, you are created to have dominion only in the small, narrow, confined, limited sphere. And if you want to be happy, just stay in your place. No, God didn't say that. God created the woman and the man jointly together as partners of the same worth and value. And God said to them both that they are created to have shared dominion in the whole world, period.
Oh man, I didn't think they'd ever stop talking. Sorry about that. All right. It is kind of progressive, but yeah, it is also incredibly tedious. So there you go. Let's learn about banking. Banking. Enjoy.
Got it. April, darling, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm getting my rent money.
From a plant.
It's my secret hiding place.
What do you keep in the bank? Fertilizer?
Oh, I don't have a bank. Can you cash this for me? This?
If I knew what...
I don't know. I just don't know about this checking account.
Oh, honestly, April, I thought everybody knew that. Hey, you! Yeah, you! What are the 4 main reasons for having a checking account?
Oh, the 4 main reasons for having a checking account. Wait, don't tell me. Protection. It's a perfectly safe place to keep your money.
Yes, protection. Go on.
Well, let's see. Protection, convenience. If you have a checking account, you won't have to carry around a lot of cash.
Yes, convenience. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going, keep going. How about it's not safe to send cash through the mail, but you can send checks through the mail?
Through the mail. Very good. One more.
Oh, gee willikers.
Your time is almost up.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll give you a hint.
Please, anything.
At the end of the month, when the bank sends you all your canceled checks, what are they good for?
The receipts. You get your checks back to prove that you paid for things. It's your proof of purchase.
He got it!
I got it!
Yay!
Oh. Well, do I win anything?
No, but you get to come back this weekend. Thank you.
Oh, come back where? Next week.
Let's see. Protection, convenience. You can send your checks through the mail, and canceled checks or proofs of purchase.
Right you are. Also, having a checking account is good for your credit record.
Oh.
Once you open an account, that bank will cash your soggy little paychecks for you.
Well, that's good enough for me. I'm sold.
Good. And you like banks. You don't have to keep watering them. They don't need a lot of light. They don't get root rot. New account.
Hello. Miss Martinez, can I help you?
I'd like to open a new checking account, please.
With a plant?
Don't ask.
I'll be depositing these.
Nice checks. Okay, we'll need you to fill this card out with your name, address, and your signature. And then endorse those checks.
Endorse. Well, they seem to be very fine checks. Nicely printed. Good paper.
Endorsing means to sign them on the back.
Yes, you see, what you're doing is signing the checks over to the bank.
Oh. April N. Parrish. April N. Parrish.
Now write for deposit only under your name.
Fine. Now, take a look at this. Here at Security City, we have two basic checking plans to choose from. You can either pay a 20-cent service charge for each check you write, or you can just pay a $3 monthly service charge no matter how many checks you write.
Wait, don't tell me. 20 cents goes into $3 15 times. So if I'm going to be writing less than 15 checks a month, I'm better off paying by the check. But if I'm going to be writing more than 15 checks a month, I'm better off paying the $3 a month.
She's quite gifted, you know.
Well, I think I'll take the 20 cents per check.
Fine. That's all there is to it. Now, here's some plain checks to get you started, and we'll be sending you your personalized checks in the mail.
Great. How soon?
We'll figure 10 days to 2 weeks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
For my very first check, I want to pay you the rent. There we go.
There we go, all right. April, dear, may I borrow your pen, please?
Sure.
Thank you very much. $160.25. Here we go. $160.25. And I do so appreciate it.
My word, you can't do that.
I just did.
But that's cheating.
You bet your balance book it is. Look, Turkey, I just did that to show you there's a right way and a wrong way to writing a check.
Not a turkey.
That remains to be seen. Now let me show you the right way. Get a new check and something to write with. Now, a pen. Never, never, never use a pencil. Now, spell out the date right there. Start my name as far to the left as possible. Start the numbers as close to the dollar sign as possible. And add NO over 100 to show that it's $60 and no cents. There you go. Spell out 60. Again, start as far to the left as you can. Add the NO over 100 to show no cents, and then draw a line all the way to the right, so no one can add anything to it. Now sign it clearly. And enter this in your balance book right away. You got to keep track of these things. And don't leave your checks lying around. Guard them like money. And for goodness sake, don't ever sign a blank check.
No.
All right, what are you going to do about this? not a turkey, April. You're the whole barnyard. You know that? What you do with this is void it. Void. V-O-I-D. And then you know what you do? You throw them away. And if you ever can't get to the check to actually destroy it yourself, you report it to the bank and tell them to stop payment on it. As long as you call them before the check gets there, they won't cash it. It'll cost you a little, but it's worth it.
I'm not a turkey.
No, April, you're not a turkey. I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
But if I were you, I'd keep a low profile just before Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Attention! This is a surprise checkbook inspection. Do not resist, and no one will get hurt.
Nay!
Get out your checkbook. This is for your own protection.
Why are you doing this?
We must see that you know how to balance your checkbook properly. This is only a test.
Here.
This is good. You have entered your checks and your deposits, and you have kept a running total.
Why are you doing this to me?
I do this for all my tenants. It's just one of the little extras you get here at Mooselock Manor.
I think I'd rather have a garbage chute.
Do you have your bank statement?
My bank statement? You mean the thing they send you every month with your canceled checks?
That is correct.
Yes, I got that yesterday.
Present it for inspection. Oh, no, You're supposed to save those things, you little squirt. Those pencil checks, remember?
Hey, I found my nose plugs.
Great. And that bank statement is how you know what your balance really is.
Here it is.
All right, what does it say?
Well, they've listed my checks and my deposit and my new balance, $89.40.
Is that what you have in your checkbook?
$89.40? Let's see. $89.40? That's very close.
Close? Did you say close? Close is no good. Close is for losers. How close?
60 cents.
What are you going to do about it?
Golly. Well, maybe I should compare what I wrote in my checkbook with what the bank put on my statement.
All right, do it.
Well, land o' goshen, they've listed the same deposits and the same checks that I have, and I come up with a balance of $90.
Don't they list something else?
Oh, the service charge. They've deducted a service charge for 3 checks. 20 cents a check, that makes 60 cents. So I'll put it in my checkbook. And now I'll have a balance of $89.40.
To the penny. Now keep your checkbook balanced in. You won't make the mistake of writing checks for more money than you have. That's called overdrawing your account, and the banks hate it.
I won't.
All right. Now you can get back into bed. As for now, you pass.
Gee, thanks, Nettie.
It's all part of the job, kid. Good night.
Good night. savings account, huh?
Well, I think you should at least consider it, especially since your plant died.
Gee, I don't know if I want to put any more of my money in the bank.
Well, it's up to you, but there are a lot of nifty reasons for it.
Lots. I couldn't name one.
What's that? Name one? We'll do better than that. Not two, not three, but four dynamite reasons to stash your cash in a savings account. Yeah. First, it's a surefire way to have the green stuff on hand for when you really need it, like an emergency.
I'm not planning on having any emergencies.
Shh. You're interrupting.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. And another far reason is protection. Can you dig it? It's an incredibly safe place to keep your money.
Better than shoving it under a fern.
And cleaner, too. Also, a savings account is a groovy way to start establishing a credit record. Do you hear me talking to you? And finally, you keep your bread in a savings account and you'll earn interest, hubba hubba. So put it in the bank, Hank. Start to save. Dave, do it. You know what I like to. Here's another hot powder I just know you'll all enjoy. Make your brains fall out.
Well, what do you think?
Got a good beat. I like the words. Give it a 60.
Oh, I mean about savings account.
Oh. Well, savings account, huh? I guess it's a good idea.
Well, you're darn right. But choosing a place to put your savings will require some thought.
Why's that?
Well, you got to think of something more besides convenience. Different banks offer different free services with their savings accounts, like safety deposit boxes, free traveler's checks, things like that. Also, some banks offer higher interest than others. You got to take all that into consideration.
Tell me more about how this interest stuff works.
Suppose you put $1,000 in the bank. Suppose you got 5% interest. How much extra money would you have at the end of the year?
$50.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do that?
Do what, dear? Let's go. The surf's lousy.
Well, you've convinced me. I'm going right to my bank and open up a savings account.
Not so fast, Buster. You might want to... What? You might want to think about putting your savings in a different kind of bank.
You mean like a secret Swiss one?
No, like a savings and loan association.
Savings and Loan Association, huh?
Yeah.
So, tell me, what's a Savings and Loan Association?
A savings and loan association? That's a bank whose main purpose is loans and savings accounts. That's a savings and loan association. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, since I need both a checking account and a savings account, why shouldn't I have them both at my commercial bank? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can do that. But the savings and loan offer higher interest rates and more free services. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know, it just seems so convenient to be able to have both of those accounts at the same bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But before you really decide, maybe you better ought to look around, huh? So, let's go by your bank, and if there's a good savings and loan association, maybe you'll open an account. Okie dokie. Come on, Tiger, let's go.
Okay, Miss Parrish, that's all there is to it.
Now, there are all kinds of different savings accounts, you see?
Gee, the more money I put in, and the longer amount of time I'd agree to leave it in, the higher the interest.
Right. You're probably better off with the one you picked. It's the simplest.
But that's the lowest rate of interest.
Yes, but that's the only one where you can take your money out any time you need it. It's just like a very safe house plant that pays interest.
Are you making fun of me?
Oh, perish the thought. Now, this passbook is where they'll enter your deposits and withdrawals. And 4 times a year, they'll post your interest here, where it says interest.
Very interesting.
You making fun of me? Now, if you want to make a deposit, just bring in your passbook, fill out one of these deposit slips, take it up to the tiller.
But what if I want to take some of my money out?
Funny you should ask. That's called a withdrawal, and I'm just about to make one myself. I've got my passbook. I fill out one of these withdrawal slips, fill in the amount, sign my name. Let's take it up to the teller.
Why are you taking out so much money?
I've been saving up for something special for a long time. I never could have done it without a savings account.
Golly gee, sounds exciting. What is it?
My new vehicle.
You mean you're getting rid of the van?
Uh-huh.
Good. You know, I've always thought it was kind of silly for a woman of your stature to be driving around in a big old van. I'd like to see you in something smaller and a little more dignified.
That's just what I'm getting.
Whoa. All right, so I was like, is this funny or not? Like, it's kind of quirky, but the whole thing where you hear her going into somebody else's apartment. It really had me rolling. Okay, I mean, you know, the threshold for humor, we got to bring it way down. Yeah, that was pretty wacky. And I like wacky from the 70s. Thanks for joining us today. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Jeremy, for donating via the Super Thanks button. That's a way to support us, but you can also hit the thumbs up, the like. You can go to patreon.com/avgeeks or buy some coffee at ko-fi.com/avgeeks. Those are wonderful ways to support us, but even just watching films and commenting and sharing, inviting friends to watch, and join the party. Thanks so much, and we will see you tomorrow. Everybody take care. Bye.